Okay, I thought to make this video. Tried to make it several times of how to get the Blender scene into Fusion, because I thought it'd be interesting to explore the Fusion way of doing it. And once we have the 3D track, once we have the geometry, we can just do it all in Fusion. So how to do that? First of all, select the mesh and just go File and make sure it's in got nothing on the transforms, all that, it's one there or anything. File export. I'm going to go with the OBJ, right? I did try FBX, but I was having issues. You might have better luck with FBX, but what I found worked for me was go with the OBJ. So file, export, OBJ, select the mesh, export an OBJ. Right, okay, so that's that done. Select the camera. I've baked the keys here, but your track camera will have the track camera constraint on it. Bake to F curves, and then you get the keys like this, right? Okay, fantastic. Select the camera, go file, export, Alembic, right. Select camera, selected object only, just like the other, like the object, like the mesh, and I go with the default export camera. Right, okay, that's that done. Right, over to Fusion, import the image sequence, drag that into the timeline, there we go, or the clip bin, or whatever the hell it's called. Drag that into the timeline on the next page. Great, we have it now. We have the sequence in the timeline, right? So now we go to the Fusion page. It should appear. We have the media in and media out. Okay, great, fantastic. So now what we go is on the Fusion, we go import Alembic scene. I locate the Alembic scene. It's the latest scenes I know. Okay, uncheck everything apart from camera, and make sure it's at 24 frames a second. Okay, right, fantastic. Get rid of the transform. Okay, so now what we need to do is import the OBJ. You can just drag it from your file explorer. I found it's the easiest way to do it. What's called mesh OBJ. Drag that in. Okay, so now we need to merge these together. So merge 3D is what we want. Merge. Oh, I used Control and space to get this up. Merge 3D. Okay, add. Great. Connect the white dot to the middle of the node. White dot middle of the node. All right, now we can have a look at that, and we'll see that we have a 3D view, which you can use the plus in and out. It's a bit cumbersome. It's a weird thing. You sort of problem when you use lots of 3D different programs is you like certain aspects. So I'm trying to remember what so that shift right mouse button to orbit, and then I think if you hold down. Just trying to remember. So, and then it's middle mouse button to track. I promise I've got a Wacom pen, so everything's slightly different, just to confuse things, right? Okay, so we've got that. Great, fantastic. Have a look. So now, if we actually want to see what the camera is seeing, we can, if you right-click and go camera, right? So we can see what the camera's seeing. Maybe you'd want to see that in wireframe. So if you select the mesh and check wireframe, we'll get wireframe. But this is just a 3D view. It's not actually rendered, right? Because to use this in a comp, we need to render it. So check a render node down. Render 3D, I think it's called. Render 3D. That's one here. Add. Connect the white dot to the middle of the node. Right. This is your viewers. One on the key on the number on the numbers across your 1 and 2, right? So these are like 1 and 2 in Nuke, the same as the dots there. So you can either click the dots or press 1 or 2 or the selected node, and it will show. Or you can just have one viewing node if you want, just like that. But 2 is quite useful. So you could have, like, for instance, the 3D view over here and the render output there. So just zooming out, just so we can have the sort of an idea of what's going on. Okay. Now, if you actually wanted to render the wireframe, you need to change from software render to hardware render. And actually, if you want to be able to see it, because it's quite high resolution, I've done it at like 4K or whatever. So what you can do is merge it over itself. So Control space, merge. I'm still, getting used to things. With, as I say, I'm coming from Nuke and After Effects. So now you can see it's a bit more intense there. It's a bit more obvious, right? So what we'll do is merge that over the back plate, right? So space again, merge. Now the problem is, there's a few issues. Make sure your frame rates match. 24 is 24. It's 24 across the board. And make sure your in and out points match. And make sure you're not don't have. This is one keyframe offset on your camera track. That always do all this before and check the little tracks before you start doing all the comp work. I made that mistake, and so just do that first. Just so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do another merge. Okay, and we'll connect the media in and merge over. So now if we have a look at that, we can see the wireframe, and it doesn't match. You need to unlock if you want to edit the imported stuff, you need to unlock it. So let's go width. Now it matches, as you can see. Right, so now let's preview that. Right click, create. I might just try and go start. Rather than use the full screen, because I'm having major issues for some weird reason with full screen, and because I'm running the slightly higher than HD, this you might not be able to see the wireframe on YouTube, so I'm going to have to just manage the windows. But I'm just rendering it out first of all so we can see it, and maybe if I zoom in and stuff, you'll see that it doesn't stick. I mean, that's because we're one frame off, right? It looks like more, but actually when you slide the keys over, I'll show you how to do that in a sec. So let's go play, loop, play. Can we zoom in? Well, yes we can. So if I look here, this is actually quite, you can see that it will suddenly slip. He says. That doesn't look too bad. I think that might have we might not need to do the. Maybe just if I pause it, and you can, so you can right click and drag the scrub. So I'm just, there we go. There's one frame out, you see, and that can make all the difference. So we need to drag the key. So first of all, we'll select the camera, and then we go to workspace, panels, show panels, and we need the keyframe editor thing. And then that gets all small, and then if we change on the three dots just to selected, so now we just have just the camera, and we need to change our viewing because it's really massive for some weird reason. Select the camera. Oh yeah, select the camera. There we go. Right. And so if we just I'll select them all first of all. So just drag a box. Still getting used to things. There's actually I think there's this here. There we go. Select, drag a box. So we've got everything. Now we need to zoom in to the end. See if we can do it here. We can do it here. Great. Okay, so I'm just going to drag that last key. Now that everything's selected, just drag everything back one, right? And now, hopefully, when we scrub the frames, if we go to the merge out, select that on the 2. There we go. That pop should have gone. Although I kind of need to preview it really to see let's do a quick render. Right. Start. Okay. And when that's all done, I'll save this as a thing. And yeah, just as I say, I just want to check, and then we'll do the next video. I'll do the paint out. In Fusion. It's kind of the easier way of doing it. I mean, you can't. Yeah, as I say, you see it in the Blender way of doing it. So, but this is quite useful because obviously, there's all this stock library stuff, and this is like on Pexels, I think it's called. I'll put a link to the original the person who made it available. It's like copyright. It's free to use as long as you credit, I think, is the thing. Play. It's all looking pretty well locked. No weird slipping, but it's the tilt that you really notice the slip. And that all looks good. Right, that's all great. I'm just going to stop the video now and edit it up.